Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now. 10-2 stop.
On the ground with Bryce Love, the former Stanford Cardinal. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
Yeah.
56 to Mike, boys.
Second and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is third and 9.
He's crashing. He's checking crack.
He'll set up to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Ravens, they'll take over. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 170 in. Here we go, here we go. Set, go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 32-yard line. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 8. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Check 50, check 50.
Delta.
He'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Go!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And that's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Returnable here from the 38. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's a 2nd and 7. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Here we go.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, you got 3, three down.
Back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, and they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll start the drive with Love here. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Love. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football.
Any weapon. Hard.
Looking to throw. And he's got Gibbons. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
We go! 10 Lobo.
Double dog, that's the way.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Go. Check. Delta.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Lamb. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 31-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 30-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Stop your whining.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. That was shot Penny, trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
We got to step it up.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. They'll set up a throw. And he will find his man on the outside. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right, and this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Give him 32 on the play.
Come on, set, 8, read.
Go, go, go.
Set, go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. From 3 yards out, and the Ravens have taken the lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
This one fielded at the 5. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Ready, ready.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Check 9. 6-6, pull it high. Hey, foxtrot.
56, Mike, 56.
He'll look to throw. Incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Go. Smooth.
51, Mike.
Go.
They'll drop the throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Ready, go.
Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Let's go.
The Browns drive about to get started. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Look at me. Go. Hey, Charlie.
51 to Mike, boy. 51.
I'm coming. Shoot.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And an alley, and it's a fumble. And I think the Browns got it. They did. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Got it.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
So we got man.
2nd and 10. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was king on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open.
And he's taken down back at his own 7. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
15 Lonnie. 6, you're out. 6 gone. Hayward. Chuck. Hot.
Back to throw here. Flushed out right. And that's off the mark, incomplete. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
He's got daylight. The 40. Past the 20. 10. 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big-time run there by Sony Michel. 65 yards on the ground.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Check. Mike 50. I'm going to run you over. Go.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll set up to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
At the 28-yard line.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Chopper. Hard. Let's go.
2nd and 9 now. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Going up top. They've got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A 1st down and then some, 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Let's go. 70 in. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Again, it's Johnson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick. But let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st first down.
First down, Browns.
Here we go, here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Pick your game up.
On first down, here's Love. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 50-yard line.
Let's go now. 8, read.
Check 56. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Lamb. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
56. Months 56.
Let go.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Alpha. Mike 50. Mike Blue Dark Workers. Blue ready. Go.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Go, D. Let's go. Joker, Joker. Joker, Joker.
Charlie. Set, go.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. They frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
61, matchbox, right.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's 3rd down and goal to go.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Slam.
Back to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The Browns drive about to get started. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and a mile.
53, check 53. Silver.
They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
Blue draw Porter.
Check 53.
Bravo.
Check 53 is mine. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
All right.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
And the Browns first down.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Ready.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Looking to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, lock it. Look at me. Zipper.
Be ready. Be ready. 51's the mic. 51.
Hey, Zoo.
They're going to need some therapy.
Get it.
He'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Check 24. Check 24.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Five.
55. Right there in the middle. 55. Hey, I'm coming.
Get it ready.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Ready.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. gun, a run for Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
They can't hang with us.
They'll set up a throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
He trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. 2nd and 2. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
They'll look to throw here. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10.
Safety creep. Shoot all dog. Ready, go.
He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll drop the throw. And he's going to go down again.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh. Snap.
On play action, they'll throw. Now a desperation throw, deep depth, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Ready.
Take over first and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. All incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
It's now second and 10.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Baltimore, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to rebound next